Welcome back to another English lesson. In today's English lesson, we are going to watch a newscast about another tragedy here in the United States involving guns. A man went into a hockey game, high school hockey game. Kids were playing here, and after a little while, he shot his ex-wife, he shot his daughter, and then he shot himself. His son was actually on the ice playing hockey. And this tragedy hits home for me. I know a couple things about this. I can really relate to this tragedy. My friend worked with the shooter. Now, it's a big place. He did not know this man well, but he had seen him a few times around the workplace. I'm actually going to a hockey game with my friend next week. And my son, when he was younger, he played at this hockey rink quite often. It is a little too cold to teach English out here right now, so I am going to go inside. Please watch the first part of this newscast. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, you know all the things, and I will see you in just a minute.
From Rhode Island, this terrible story, 3 people dead, including the attacker after a shooting at a youth hockey game that was captured on camera. The shooting happened in Pawtucket, a few miles outside of Providence, yesterday afternoon. 3 more in critical condition at the hospital.
Okay, just a tragic story. You have seen some of the newscasts. We have, I think, 23 new terms for you. By the end of this English lesson, I promise your English will be just a little bit better. Hopefully, every time you study English, it gets a little bit better. And then if you look back over the year, you're like, wow, my English is a lot better. So let's make it better today. We're getting serious. The glasses are going on. I am wearing a hat today. It's early in the morning and my hair was a little messy. Okay, Rhode Island. Let's take a look and see where this state is. You can see there is a magnifying glass in that picture, and it is showing where Rhode Island is. Now, that red spot is where Rhode Island is located, but Rhode Island is the smallest state in the Union, as we say, so it's a little bigger. It actually looks like it's Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, but it is not that far away from me. I am all the way at the top in Maine, which is why my son could play at that arena every so often. So let's get the official definition for Rhode Island. A very small state in the Northeast United States. We could say it is the smallest state. Here is a sentence. She lives in a small town in Rhode Island. Next, we have youth. Sometimes this is used as a noun. It is often used as an adjective, like a youth hockey game. Let's get the official definition. The time when you are young. You can see youth and young look very similar. He played a lot of sports in his youth. Next, we have critical condition. Now, I am developing a course to help you read and watch the news. And one of the lessons I just recorded was about disasters like this. Critical condition. They use this in the news quite often. Let's talk about what that means. I hope you never find yourself or a family member, somebody you really love, in critical condition. It's not good. It means being very sick or badly hurt. The driver is in critical condition at the hospital. And let's talk a little bit more about that course. Stop. Look at this word. Landslide. Do you think it means rocks falling down from a mountain? In the news, that is a big no. It means winning an election by a large amount. If you want to read the New York Times or watch CNN or Fox News, you need to know news English, or like I like to call it, headline-ese, like Chinese or Taiwanese. It's a foreign language. It's not like English from a textbook, and the best place to start is my free guide. It's called The 50 Words You Need to Know Before You Read the News. It teaches you the most important words for politics, crimes, elections, and so much more. It's totally free. There is a QR code right up there, or there is a link in the description. Now, back to the English lesson. Erupting. Now, they talked about gunfire erupting in the arena. This is a little bit different. They're talking about the sound when you hear the gunfire. But let's talk about the official definition here. Exploding or starting suddenly and loudly. In the picture, we have a volcano, and it definitely looks like it's erupting. Here is the sentence. The volcano is erupting with smoke and fire.
Alexis McAdams has more on this. And the gunman. Alexis, good morning.
Bill, good morning. Yeah, this just keeps unfolding and the details are shocking and really tragic. There was just chaos inside of this ice rink out in Rhode Island during a high school hockey game after one of the hockey parents in the crowd pulled out a gun and opened fire, shooting members of his own family. Watch. I mean, you can hear the gunshots there just erupting. You can hear the echo inside of that indoor hockey rink out there in Pawtucket. And then what you see in that video is that people are running for cover there. They're trying to get off the ice. They're ducking and trying to get out of the way.
Next, we have echo. This usually has something to do with sound. Think about a gunshot inside a building that is going to echo. Let's get the official definition. A sound that repeats because it hits a wall. And you can see this man is yelling into what looks like a canyon, but his voice is probably echoing off the walls of that canyon. Here's a sentence. I shouted hello and heard an echo. So basically, you heard hello again. It's very sad, but shortly after those gunshots rang out, you might hear that English phrasal verb there, people were running for cover. And in the picture, it looks like that man is running for cover because of the rain. Definitely not as serious as bullets. Here is the official definition for running for cover. Running to hide from rain or danger. It started raining and we were running for cover. Next, we have a verb, ducking. You may know the animal in English, a duck. This, I don't think, has anything to do with a duck. I don't even think ducks can duck. Here's the verb, moving your head down quickly to avoid something. He was ducking so the ball wouldn't hit him.
They're ducking and trying to get out of the way. Investigators have identified Robert Dorgan as the shooter. So I want to walk you through what we know about him. Just take a look here at this picture. This is from his social media profiles. They say he also went by Roberta, so Roberta Dorgan. And sources tell Fox he was dressed in women's clothing when he showed up to his son's hockey game yesterday afternoon. These pictures you're looking at are from months ago, Bill, but witnesses and people we've talked to who were at this hockey game say that this was something that happened pretty often where he would show up in women's clothing. So according to documents obtained by our affiliate WPRI, Dorgan had a history of family disputes. So let's get into them. Some involving conflict over his gender identity because he had gender reassignment surgery back in 2020.
Number 8, let me walk you through this. So a lot of times in these English lessons, I am walking you through the difficult vocabulary we watch in the newscast. Let's get the official definition to explain something step by step. And in the picture, you can see a pretty old person there, and maybe they have a new piece of technology. They need their grandchildren to walk them through maybe how to set up their new iPhone, something like that. I will walk you through how to use this app. Next, we have showed up. Yeah, an English phrasal verb. I know how often English learners struggle with English phrasal verbs. So let's talk about what it means to show up somewhere. It means arrived at a place. Oh boy, what is going on in the picture? I did not create this picture. It looks like a man is maybe showing up to a birthday party with a cake and it looks like there is chaos in that room. He finally showed up to the party at 10 p.m. Disputes. If you know argument, I think you know disputes. I think they are pretty interchangeable. You can use both words very similarly. I try never to say that word similarly because I can never say it correctly. Please don't use my example on similarly. It's kind of a weird word. Disputes are arguments or strong disagreements. They had many disputes about money. Get into them. In the newscast, they used it more like research. We are going to maybe get into the reasons why the gunman chose to shoot his family. But here is the more common way you will hear get into them. Let's talk about it. To join an argument or fight. I don't like arguments, so I try not to get into them. Gender identity. Now, I'm not an expert on gender, but I think of gender meaning either a man or a woman. Some people will say it's more complicated than that. Here's the definition for gender identity: how a person feels inside. Male, female, some say others. Schools should respect every student's gender identity. Now, it seems like the shooter went through something called gender reassignment surgery. I thought that was a very big term, maybe kind of complicated. So let's get a definition and a sentence for that. An operation to change your body to match your gender. The doctor explained the process of gender reassignment.
So WPRI reports that in these court documents, his trans identity led to the divorce with his ex-wife, reportedly detailing, she said, that he had narcissistic and personality disorder traits along with the transition. So his social media profile's under investigation. I want to point this out. Just one day before he opened fire, he was defending trans Congresswoman Sarah McBride. He wrote this in part on X: "Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk."
Do you know this term, ex? Here we have ex-wife, but you might have an ex-friend. That is a person you are no longer friends with. Let's get the official definition for ex-wife. A woman, someone used to be married to. He is still friends with his ex-wife. Oh boy, I hope you have never met anyone who is narcissistic. That's how you say that, narcissistic. That means caring only about yourself and thinking you are better than others. He is too narcissistic to listen to anyone. I am not a psychologist. I am just an English teacher who has trouble saying similarly. But personality disorder traits, let's talk about what those are. Patterns or thinking or acting that cause problems with other people. Her behavior showed some personality disorder traits. Usually when you see dis at the beginning of a word in English, it means not good. Hey, I want to point this out to you. Do you know what that phrase means? Point this out: to show or tell someone a specific fact. I need to point this out. You made a small mistake here. And English teachers love to point out mistakes, don't they? I'm kind of the opposite. I don't like to point out mistakes unless they are major because I want an English learner to build confidence. Bashing. This might be slang. It means saying very mean or bad things about someone. Ooh, that coach in the picture does not look happy. The coach bashed his team after the terrible loss. Maybe he said, "You did not give enough effort out there. You didn't try hard enough, and that is why we lost." What does it mean if somebody or something like the dog in the picture goes berserk? It's another way to say going crazy or very angry. The dog went berserk when the mailman came to the door. And maybe this coach, he looks like he's yelling. I'm not sure he's quite going berserk yet. Maybe if he was throwing his hands up and down, he would be going berserk. But that dog definitely looks like it is going crazy, going berserk when that mail carrier came to the door.
So they're looking into all of these things on social media. As investigators say, it was a targeted attack. That's one thing they know for sure. Sources telling Fox it was a dispute within this family that led to the tragedy. So the gunman shows up, kills his ex-wife and one of his own kids at the hockey game. Police say 3 others are in the hospital fighting for their lives. And there really could have been more people that were killed, but a good Samaritan stepped in and tried to take this gunman down. Watch.
Police were on scene within a minute and a half of that call. A good Samaritan stepped in and interjected in this scene, and that's probably what led to a swift end of this tragic event.
A good Samaritan. Every tragedy needs a good Samaritan. That is a stranger who helps someone in trouble. A good Samaritan helped fix my car. And you can see in the picture, this person, maybe they were hit by a car on a bike, and a good Samaritan came over to check on them. She is using her phone, so maybe she is calling 911. Another English phrasal verb here, stepped in. It means to get involved, to stop a problem, or to help out. The teacher stepped in to stop the fight. Stepped in and interjected, they are very similar. Let's take a look. Interjected, that means interrupted to say something quickly. Wait a minute, she interjected. So interjected is a little harsher than stepped in, maybe, but they both mean getting involved. What if something comes to a swift end? It means a very quick finish. Take a look. We have a baseball game. We would say there is a tarp over the field. Maybe some bad weather has come in. Let's read the sentence. The game came to a swift end when it started raining. Congratulations. You made it to the end of another English lesson. Right over there is that QR code. If you want more information about that course, right down there is an English lesson about how Cuba may be collapsing. Their economy may be collapsing. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.